11.1 is areas of triangles and parallelograms. So before we learn the properties of triangles and parallelograms, today we'll find the areas of triangles and parallelograms. We'll also find areas of other types of quadrilaterals. We're going to do a little bit different schedule than what's on here, so we won't don't follow that as far as what the series is. Go by what's in Canvas. Areas of parallelograms and triangles. So vocabulary. I've lost connection here. Let's see what happened. Come on. There we go. Bases of a parallelogram. Either pair of parallel sides of a parallelogram are the bases. So in this case, the blue lines are the bases. Okay, the yellow line would be the height of that parallelogram. Remember, it's perpendicular to the base. It's not the height, it's not the slanted line. It's the perpendicular line to the base. The height of the parallelogram is the shortest distance between the bases of a parallelogram. Shortest distance, which is the perpendicular distance. So the yellow line is your height. Everybody got it? All right. A second, my iPad is frozen for some reason here. What's going on? Come on. Slide. All right. Postulates. Postulate 24. The area of a square. The area of a square is the square of the length of its side. The square means you multiply. The square of it means you multiply it times itself, right? So you could do length times width, but that's going to be, both the sides are s. That's going to be s squared. So the area of a square is the length of it, the square of the length of its side. Do I have it? Area of congruence postulate. If two polygons are congruent, then they have the same area. Pretty much a common sense idea. If the shapes are congruent, same size and shape, they're going to have the same area. Area addition postulate. The area of a region is the sum of the areas of its non-overlapping parts. The area of a region is the sum of the areas of its non-overlapping parts. So you would use that idea is like, if you have let's say you had a shape that looked like this, right? Well, we could do area, we're going to have a formula for area of a trapezoid, but we could take the area of a square and the area of a rectangle, a triangle, add those two together. That's going to be the area of the entire shape. Oh, I got it? All right. My iPad's having trouble today. Doesn't have a good connection. Come on. Reconnect. Okay. Area of a rectangle. So we're going to do area of a rectangle, area of a parallelogram, area of a triangle. The area of a rectangle, base times height. Base times height. Area of a parallelogram, base times height. Area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. And if you think about it, that makes sense because, if I take a triangle, right? We'll make it easy. We'll make it a right triangle. If I have a right triangle, if I take the sides and duplicate them, then I have a rectangle, right? This is the base, this is the height. The area of that rectangle would be base times height. Then if I draw the diagonal and make it into two triangles that are the same size, it's 1/2 base times height. All right. Find the area of PQRS. There are two ways we can find the area of PQRS. All right. This is a symbol for parallelogram. Okay, so this is a parallelogram PQRS. Okay, so we can do area equals, let's call it base 1 times height 1, right? So somebody give me a base. What could I multiply? A base and height combination to find the area of this shape. Base and height combination.
6 and 8.
Okay, right. I could use 6 and 8. I can use 6 as the base and 8 as the height. Right? There is 6 times 8, which is equal to 48 units squared. Right? That's one way I could do it. I could also do the area equals base 2 times height 2. What is the other combination of a base and height I could use? There. Logan. Right. I could turn it. If you want to think of the base as what it sits on, we could turn this way, right? The 12 would be here. So the 12, it's one of the parallel sides, and the 4 is the corresponding height of that. So we could do 12 times 4. We get the same answer. It's 48 units squared. Any questions there? Okay? Everybody has it? Good. All right. Find the perimeter and area of the polygon. Alright, so let's do perimeter. Perimeter. What does perimeter equal?
100.
How'd you get that?
30 times 2, 20 times 2.
Right, it's two. Perimeter is 2 times the length. For a four-sided shape, it's 2 times the length. For a parallelogram, it's 2 times the length times 2 times the width. So she plugged in 2 times 30 plus 2 times 20. That equals to 60 plus 40, which is 100. 100 units squared. What about the area? What's the area going to be? What's the area formula for a parallelogram? Base times height. So, what am I going to use? What can I use for my base and height, Brandon?
30 and 17.
30 and 17. Good. 30 times 17. So that's going to be 510. 510 units. Oh, I shouldn't have squared the units on perimeter. Perimeter is just units. And then it's 510 units squared. All right, any questions there? Right, has it? Okay. Okay, so then now we've got a triangle. Triangle, perimeter, just the sum of the sides, right? The perimeter is going to equal to 17 plus 10 plus 21. So that equals to 27, 47, 48. Perimeter is 48 units. Area. What's the area formula for a triangle? Aaron, what's the area formula for a triangle? 1/2 base times height. All right, so that's going to equal to 1/2 21 times the height is going to be what, Carly? 8. So that's 4 times 21, 84. 84 units squared. Questions? All right. Solve for unknown measures. All right. The base of a triangle is twice its height. The area of the triangle is 36 square inches. Find the base and the height. How can I do this? Any ideas? Abby? Yeah, we can, in all these problems, all these area problems, I should have said this up front. When you're solving them, write the general formula. That is without the numbers plugged in. Just write area equals base times height, or area equals 1/2 base times height. That's a point. These are 3-point problems. You write the formula, you plug in correctly, and then you get the answer. Okay, three points. All right. So we've got. I'll write my general formula. Area equals 1/2 base times height. So that's going to equal to 36 equals 1/2. And then what can I plug in for the B, Abby?
I put 2H multiplied by H. I just put it over 2 though.
Okay, so we've got 1/2 that we plug in B, we plug in 2H for the base, and we plug in H for H. The height is the height. So 1/2 2H times H. So that's going to be 36 equals H squared. So the height equals what? 6. And so then the base equals 2H. So it's going to equal 2 times 6. The base equals 212. All right, any questions? No questions. Okay. Solve a multi-step problem. You need to paint the barn so that you can. You need to know how much paint you have to have to paint the barn. The gallon of paint covers 350 square feet. How many gallons should you buy? All right. So we have 2 parts, right? We have a rectangle and a triangle. The rectangle is pretty easy. The triangle is we've got a challenge here. We've got to figure out this height, right, of the triangle. So let's tackle the triangle first. I'll draw it separately up here. So there's a triangle. This is 26, but it's isosceles, right? It's isosceles. So if how I can do it is this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle, right? This would be 45. If it's isosceles, it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. And we want to use, for our triangle, since it's a right triangle, we can find this side and this side, and that can be my base and height, right? So anybody remember on a 45, 45, 90 how I would do it? We've got, how do we label our sides on the 45, 45, 90? You might remember? If this side is 1, what's this side, the long side? What?
Radical 2.
Yeah, radical 2, good. It's radical 2. So we can set up our proportion. Well, this is we'll call this x. All right, so we can say, we can do x is to 1 as 26 is to radical 2. Right? So then we have x equals 26 over radical 2. We rationalize that, radical 2 times radical 2. So that's going to be equal to 26 radical 2 over 2, which is equal to 13 radical 2. Right? So this side is 13 radical 2. Right? So we know that. Everybody got that? All right, let's clear this out. So now we've got, this is 13 radical 2. And this is 13 radical 2. right? So now we've got the area is going to equal to, for the rectangle, it's base 1 times height 1, plus, then we have to do an area of a triangle. So 1/2 base 1 times height 1, not base 1, base 2 times height 2. Right? So then we plug in. That equals to 26 times 18 plus 1/2 of, what am I going to plug in for base 2? What?
46.
Nope,
Not 46.
because we don't know this height. We don't know that. What am I going to use for my base and height in the triangle?
13 radical 2.
Yeah, I use it for the twice. It's the base and then the height. So it would be 1/2 13 radical 2 times 13 radical 2. So then we have some math to do. You guys will have to help me out with your calculator. Why don't you put that away? You don't need to have that on your desk. What's 26 times 18? 168?
468.
468 plus, okay, so we're going to have 13 times 13 is 169 times 2 radical, so it's just going to, the radical 2 and the 1/2 the radical 2 squared and the 1/2 cancel each other out, so it's just plus 169. So what's the total? What's our total? What'd you get?
637.
637? Okay, 637 feet squared. We're not done yet. We have to determine how many gallons of paint we need. So what can I do with the, what do I do to figure out the number of gallons of paint?
Take 637 divided by 350.
Right. So we take, let's do that. So we've got 637.
2 gallons.
What's that?
2 gallons.
Yeah. Divided by 350 equals, what is 637 divided by 350?
1.82.
1.82. Can I buy 0.82 gallons of paint?
No.
No. So I have to always round up. Even if it was 1.1, 1.1, we still would buy 2 gallons of paint unless they gave us a price for a quart. Okay. So it would be 1.82, so it would be 2 gallons of paint. That's what I need to paint the barn. The side of the barn, not the whole barn. All right, any questions? Abby?
What about the bottom part of it? Would you have to do that?
The bottom, this part?
Yeah.
We did that. We did base times height, 26 times 18.
When you do the application, it will work in gallons.
There is a. You should have. This is the bottom part right here.
Oh, okay.
26 times 18. All right. Everybody got it? Okay. Okay, here we have a robotic vacuum cleaner. Can clean 2 square meters of carpet in 8 minutes. How long does it take for the cleaning carpet to cover a room with the dimensions to the right? Several things going on here, right? Any idea how we can approach this? Yeah.
Combining the rectangle and square.
Yeah, we can first, okay, so we can find the area. So let's divide it across here. Okay, so the dimensions of this is 5 by 5, right? This is 9. What's this going to be?
9 minus 5.
Yeah, 9 minus 5. So this is this becomes 4, right? We get rid of the 9 now. And so now we've got 9 and 4 and 5 and 5. So we've got area is going to equal to length times width plus the area of a square is side squared. So we figure that out. So that's going to be 4 times 9 plus 5 squared, which is 36 plus 25, which equals 61. 61 meters squared. Everybody got that? All right. Now, so we've got 61 meters squared. What about this business of 2 square meters of carpet in 8 minutes? What can I do with that?
Divide by 2. 61 divided by 2.
Okay. What? Let's make a rate. Well, we'd get to the answer doing what you do, but let's make this a rate, right? So the rate equals 2 meters squared per 8 minutes, right? So that's going to be 0.25 meters squared, because 2 divided by 8 is 1/4, which is 0.25. So it's 0.25 meters squared per minute, right? And it wants to know how long it would take to do the room. All right? So we've got, I need more space. So we've got let's see, what was our area? I forget.
61.
61 meters squared. And then we have this rate of 0.25 meters squared per minute.